Okay, everybody. Looks like we got 6:01, so we'll go ahead and get started here and try to be respectful of everyone's time. We're going to have people still joining in as we go along here, but just really appreciate everyone. I think it goes without saying, but I always want to say on these events, I think we have some of the best investors out there. You guys are some of the most engaged people as far as the investment community, and really supportive of us. Really appreciate that support and always have engaging questions. And we try to answer those in a timely manner. And we'll continue to do that. We're very open as a company in what we do. Our primary mission is to save lives. So we're a little bit different than, some of the other ones who are out there. But for that goal that we have, we're always looking to do a little good. Our mantra is do some good in the world and good things will follow. So that's just what we're trying to do, and appreciate all the support you guys have given us. We're going to go through this today. I'm going to take you through a little bit of the new stuff, a little bit of a presentation by myself, and then we're going to have special guest appearances today. We have Will Howard, who is our lead software engineer, representing the University of Utah, fighting Utes there. We have Dylan Steinkruger. He is representing Penn State University there. He is our lead AI engineer, and so he'll be taking us through some things as well that will excite you. And we have Jamie Castle, our COO, representing the Ohio State University up there in Columbus, Ohio, although he's recently left there. So we're not sure about his allegiance now, but we'll see about that. I guess it is still Ohio State. Okay. But wanted to have them on here. We still have a small team, but we are at the same time getting a lot of wonderful things done here in just a short amount of time. It's hard to believe it's just been a little over a year since we started this venture. But with your quick help on Start Engine and other means, when we did a Reg D, those funds have we've utilized those well and come a long way. And have some breaking news for you at the end of this, so I hope you'll stick around and listen to that. But let's get started here, and then I'll pass it off to the guys when necessary here. So let me share the screen. Okay. You guys are able to see that okay? Okay, good. I got confirmation from Will. So, yeah. Will, you're going to be coming up here soon, so I don't know if I have to give you access, but it's going to be coming up after this slide, just to give you a little heads up there. So,
okay, nice and quick.
Yeah, there you go. So, I think we've mentioned this before, maybe in the last town hall with some other ones, but I think it's worth reiterating that, at our core, we have algorithmic insights, AI, machine learning, but at our core, we're really a data company. And that's, the challenge that we've had to start this out, and the challenge that we've met successfully. Some of the data that we're working with is on the order of a streaming game platform. We're taking in every radar in the United States. So I want you guys to think about that for a moment. In some states, there's many as 4 and 5 radars. Those radars are all producing data at every 3 to 5 minutes. And so every one of those radars are coming in. And so you can think of the data updating every 30 seconds in terms of that, because you'll have different radars coming in at different times. We have satellite imagery coming in every 2 minutes, short-term numerical model data, and then hundreds of other input variables available through our AI engine. And so, the challenge for us, whereas some companies just can bring in loads of data and they have all kinds of time to manipulate that data, I'll let Will expand on this. The challenge for us was figuring out how to bring in all that data, manipulate that data, send it through our AI engine, and then make a meaningful forecast in a reasonable amount of time, which in our case is less than 2 minutes. And so how do you do that? And, when we first started out, we were producing forecasts that took 1 minute and 20 seconds. And so now we've got it to a point where, we can produce those meaningful forecasts, and just credit to Will and Dylan and our contract software team, 6 feet up in Indiana. If you guys ever need contract software help, especially in Python, go get 6 feet up in Indiana. So I wanted to give them a good shout out on this too. The algorithm is what started all this. The patent was issued back in September 2019. As you remember, it takes real-time observational data. The initial forecast is based on this raw data, and this is where, you know, it really took the team, software engineers, to really get this where it would produce a meaningful forecast. Now it takes less than 400 milliseconds to produce a CONUS-wide forecast, which I'll show you guys here in just a little bit. So really remarkable with that. Now, if we had just stopped here, I really feel like we would have had a tremendously successful company. But we did not. We kept moving along, and that's when we brought Dylan in from Penn State. Poor guy was just going for his nice doctorate degree, and then we went and scooped him up and brought in the Flash. And so that's where our AI engine comes from. We just have additional large buckets of data there. We're not quite taking in 10 to 30 years of data, but we're capable of doing it. And so that's what we're going to be looking at, is training more and more models, training this data. It used to be that we used physics and formulas for all this. Now we're using the past to predict the future. And because of this, we can produce forecasts in a much more streamlined manner than ever thought. You know, when I was in the National Weather Service, you know, I think the lowest amount of time it took for a model to produce a forecast was half an hour. Now we're producing basically a new forecast every 2 minutes using this new artificial intelligence, deep learning. Forecast is continually modified based on new inputs. And so by doing this, producing these new forecasts and taking these new inputs, you know, we're able to produce a more accurate forecast. And so the architecture that we have, I mean, that's really the secret sauce behind this. I mean, yes, we have an algorithm, yes, we have a patent issued, but the architecture that we built to produce something that takes the data and produces a forecast so quickly. Now we're talking. Now we've built something that we can add on very easily. And so that's what we're most excited about, is this product suite. Limitless number of products. We were starting out with the virtual strike product, which I'll show you here in a second, but now we've gone into deep learning, derived lightning probability forecasts out to 1 hour at 5-minute increments. And remember, this forecast is updated every 2 minutes. So we're continually updating the forecast and producing something out to an hour, which I never thought I would see in my day with the National Weather Service. And so I've just been blown away by some of the things that the engineers have been able to do. First strike and all clear, which I'll talk about here in a second, but then I'll get Dylan to talk about some of the exciting things that are going to come after this, which are tornado, wind, precipitation, onset, winter storm, and on and on and on. And so it's been tremendous for us in terms of the things that we're going to do here short term with lightning, but also in the future with these additional items. So I'll stop sharing here. This is kind of a good point where I want Will to talk about the architecture and data and all of that. So Will, are you able to share from where you are? Do I need to give you access?
Yeah, I actually don't have anything to share. I was
okay.
I decided to, you know, I had
Will
to
loves
have
to wing
a
it,
habit
so
of getting deep into the weeds. You know, so I decided to refrain from sharing architecture diagrams and things that maybe less meaningful to people outside of that. And we'll just kind of frame this as a discussion and then address any questions in the Q&A. But I think just to start, essentially, it's been, you know, a wildly exciting time these past couple months in terms of development of the Flash products and the product suite that Jason, you know, mentioned just a few minutes ago. We've been rapidly gaining ground on really what is a pretty revolutionary architecture and a pretty revolutionary capability of processing large-scale data and gaining insights from it that weren't possible just, you know, even just a few years ago. And so as we develop this, you know, just during our past, in agile terms, agile project management, we call it a PI, which is a program increment. You can think of it as a development iteration, or just a quarter is probably the more regular way to put it. But in just one short quarter, so 3 short months, we implemented really a first of its kind machine learning forecast system. And this development was executed from February to May, the start of February to just about the first week of May. And really what it has done now and what it's going to continue to allow is just the flowering of the products that we have in the Flash suite to, you know, it's limitless. It's pretty exciting. And along with the flowering of the products comes a ballooning of the data that we ingest. So that's also, also incredibly exciting to think about, processing data in terms of, meteorological products that really is on par with larger classical data delivery companies you would think of as, something like Netflix or other streaming services. Really, we're streaming a lot of data. And so to that end, right, on a strongly convective day across the US, just in our virtual strike product or our base Nextrad products that are based on the satellites, we ingest about 500 gigabytes of data from the Nextrad satellites, which is a couple hundred of them. And then we are also ingesting 450 gigabytes data. This wrap working parallel together, and that's how we were able to derive the virtual strike product. And I just got a warning that my internet is unstable. Can everybody still hear me and see me?
You dropped out for just a second, Will. You might want to, I don't know if you want to let the video go for now.
All right, yeah, I'll have to stop my video, so I apologize. You won't get to see me waving my hands like a madman, but it'll be better for audio quality. So yeah, I mean, just our base virtual strike products are requiring about 1 terabyte of data every day, and that's nothing maybe all that crazy in the scheme of things, but the temporal resolution with which we need to process the data, as Jason mentioned earlier, is pretty demanding, right? It's near real time, just a minor delay. And that's the delay. The only delay that we have is how long it takes to process a full volume radar scan on the National Weather Services side. After that, we're real time. It's pretty exciting. And on top of that, as we've developed our machine learning and our deep learning products, we've had to expand our data ingest to include the high resolution rapid refresh model, which comes out hourly as well. That's called the HER. We have GOES 16 and 17 geostationary satellites that we're ingesting data from every minute. And then we also have this very, very robust data source called the MRMS, which stands for the multi-radar, multi-sensor system. That data comes out every 2 minutes and essentially is an amalgamation, kind of a mashup of many other data sources. So that is a really powerful data set. And as we ingest these, we kind of constrain them to parameters of interest and other, some certain geographical boundaries. And we cut these rather large data sets down to what we're actually performing computations on to about 30 gigabytes of MRMS data, about 20 gigabytes of GOES data, and about 12 gigabytes of HER data processed internally every day to produce these forecasts. And these new machine learning forecasts are produced every 2 minutes. They're served through a production web server in a portable GeoJSON format as of right now. And we have, longer term product directions and goals to really disseminate these in a much more portable, rasterized tile mapping service for an easier kind of software as a service product offering. But initially we're proving the power of these with a simple data as a service product offering. And I say simple, but it's not that simple. But to have an initial proof of concept for the utility and the power of these models that we're producing in that kind of minimum viable product sense is exciting, and to think about where we can go is just truly revolutionary. And so we now have the ability, right, to produce these very high spatiotemporal resolution machine learning forecasts every 2 minutes, and really continuously. And what this really speaks to is the power of, in some ways, a paradigm shift in terms of this high performance computing that has supported the atmospheric sciences since the dawning of computers, right? And this is in some ways the next the next shift of that paradigm. We have a fully cloud native infrastructure, which means that it's expandable under load. We're not confined by how many servers we have or any of those sort of physical limits. And then, between just our we'll speak in terms of Lightning right now, but we have a predictive probability and a warning watch advisory and virtual strike Lightning products. And just in that positions Flash as an organization at the complete forefront of this paradigm shift in hazard forecasting and very fine scaled spatiotemporal forecasts. And it's pretty, you probably can't, I know you can't see my camera's off, but you can't see me smiling and grinning with excitement. And on top of that, as a software engineer, what really makes me giddy is that it's robust. Our architecture is robust and it's performant and it's scalable, which means that we will maintain very, very, very small amounts of downtime, and we can expand to all of the future product offerings that we desire, which Dylan will help us address. So I think that was kind of a long-winded way of saying we are making incredible progress, and it's very exciting. And I look forward to answering any questions in this regard when we get there. So,
thank you, Will. We really appreciate that. If, for those of you who maybe didn't understand all that, please don't worry, because I don't understand half the time. So all the jargon that Will, he's a brilliant guy. He really is, and he's brought a lot to the table. So just want to kind of give you guys an idea. So I appreciate that, Will. That was really well put. I did want to remind everybody that there is a Q&A button down there. I think everybody has access to that, or you can put it in chat however you want to. So please go ahead and get your questions in there ahead of time, and we can answer them either throughout this or after. So again, appreciate it, Will. We're going to continue with the presentation here. Let's see. I guess I should share my screen first. All right, give me 1 second here. Okay, we'll do this one from the current slide. Okay, I think everybody can see that. Okay, so this is going to take you through the product suite real quick, show you what we have and what's coming down the pike. This is the virtual strike product, and so this was based on the original algorithm. This gives a highly accurate representation of where lightning is and where storms will develop. So you can think of this to be a replacement for the detection-only networks. Flash offers the same as what the detection companies do, but we also offer this added component of prediction. And so we're doing that at a fraction of the cost because we have no hardware, as Will mentioned. We have no sensor data, we have no upkeep. There's none of that associated. Ours is a pure software solution. And so we can do it for a lot cheaper than what they do and provide more data and more service. So we're offering prediction, whereas they're only offering detection. Again, software only solution with no hardware required. So I did want to take you guys into our test product here. Let's see if I can pull this up. Our good friend, strategic advisor, Quentin English down in Florida, give him a shout out. He's squirming in his chair right now because he hates live demos and he's always worried. But we are very confident in our product. And so we love running the live demos whenever we get a chance. Just hit the globe icon, which is producing CONUS-wide forecast. We should have probably more lightning now this afternoon than we'll have at any other time of the day. So you can see how fast that ran, and it's showing lightning all across the United States. And so we can zoom in on any of these areas, and I guess we'll zoom in on this one up here in New York here and see what's going on there. And you can see once we zoom in, it will take you to the individual strike plots for all of this. And so the map's still rendering back there, but these individual strike plots are actually showing where lightning is not only occurring, but also the predicted lightning. So let me get the radar off of there. This is the radar imagery, and then these individual points here are actual lightning plots. So you can think of the yellow as lightning is likely, so maybe a greater than 60% chance, and then the red is lightning is going to happen, so maybe greater than an 80% chance there. But not only, I just want to make sure everybody's clear on this with this product, not only are we showing where the lightning currently is in storms that have already developed, but much like you would see down in Florida with developing storms, we're giving a prediction of where those storms are also going to develop. So it gives you a kind of a holistic picture. Not only, hey, anybody can look out and say, hey, there's a storm, but if you just see clouds, can you tell that that one's going to develop into a storm and this one's not? Most people can't. Our product can. And so that's what really sets us apart from everyone else. So I did want to show you that. So let me go back to the presentation now, and we'll look at our next products here. Okay, and so we go from that to the deep learning and machine learning AI products that we have. And so this is Flash First Strike. So we're really excited about this one. This one's a pure AI deep learning solution, provides the time until the first strike from any developing storm. It used to be out to 30 minutes, and so now that's changed. I just like leaving 30 minutes in there so I could say, used to be 30, it's now 60 minutes. So we go out to 60 minutes with this product now. Warns users before lightning strikes within the radius of choice. Still highly accurate, just like the algorithm product, and it works in all terrains, including mountainous. But what's exciting about this one, this is a case we did for, and I'll show you some more here in a second, but this is, I think, Country Club out in Wichita, Kansas, is the black dot here. And the red indicates an 8-mile radius around it, and the blue indicates a 20-mile radius around that country club. And so what these shadings are indicating, the red is indicating greater than 30 minutes of lead time on warning about this particular storm. So it's saying lightning is going to occur within that red circle in the next 35 minutes. And then the yellow is showing 20 to 25 minutes, green is showing 10 to 15 minutes, and then the blue is lightning imminent. This actual blue and purple back here is the actual lightning. So it's well back here. So we're giving people in advance of this tremendous amount of advance notice on when the lightning is actually going to affect that region. You take any product out there, I mean, there is nothing like this that actually shows you or tells you when the lightning is going to occur. So unlike the virtual strike product, it's kind of like a snapshot in time. This product's going out 60 minutes, and it's actually telling you lightning's going to arrive this time, this time, this time, this time. And so it's enabled us to generate another product called Flash Alerts that I'll show you here in a moment. So really exciting about that. I will take you, I think it's a good time to share with you the other product that we have, which is, and this is our deep learning product. Now this one is a little bit different than First Strike, but it does show the probability of lightning. And so this is the one that's out to 60 minutes. Again, this is a live test that we're doing right now. So this is actually what's going on currently. And so let's zoom into Florida this time and see all the Florida activity. In this case, we only have 3 different probability levels. So the blue you can think of as kind of lightning is possible. The yellow, lightning is probable or likely. Red, lightning is going to happen. And so if we take this in motion, it'll give you a forecast in 5-minute increments out to 1 hour, and it'll tell you how this is going to evolve. So not only what's going on right now, where is this lightning going to move? How's it going to develop? Who's going to see the best chances of lightning going forward? And so this is just a really exciting product for us going out 60 minutes. We're not going to stop there. We're going to take these products out further. Dylan may be talking about that later on, but from a lightning standpoint, we're already doing more than anybody else is doing in this sector. So just really cool stuff. And again, this is CONUS wide that we're doing this. You can see all the activity here, Oklahoma, all the way up into Illinois, the activity we saw earlier in New York, and then off the coast of Cape Cod there. So again, some super stuff that our guys have come up with, and we'll show you how we're utilizing that to productize it here in just a second. One more product I wanted to share with you guys, and so slide. This is Flash All Clear. Okay, so if I put this, I think I can put this one actually in motion. So this is a product that definitely no one has, and so this is really cool. If I may say so, I think we're going to make a lot of money on this one. This one combines detected lightning, the algorithm, and the deep learning out to 30 minutes. And so what it says is, hey, let's look into all of these storms, okay? And look at what is making these storms go and seeing if lightning's even possible anymore. And so if we look at detected lightning, we look at the algorithm, we look at the deep learning, all three of those come back with no lightning is possible, then we can designate that area as all clear. If any of them come back with lightning potential, then they get a no-go. And so this creates a simple yet effective product that no other company has that says, say you're, like my two daughters who played softball, when umpires never knew when to put them back on the field, so they would always wait 30 minutes after the last rumble of thunder. You don't have to do that anymore. We can actually look into the storms and say, hey, you can actually get back onto the field now. It's safe to go. Think about the airlines when we talk about that. Then you're talking about big dollars. So the Boeing jet burning gallon of fuel per second circling a runway, get them down faster, get them in the air faster, save a lot of money with this. And so really excited about this. We actually had a test up at a Columbus Country Club this morning, and we had feedback from them talking about how they got all their people sheltered, and then they got them back on the course based on our product when we gave them the all clear. So really excited about the all clear. A little bit easier representation of that in the future will be something like this. You see a map, you either have go, no go, or no go, all clear. And so just be areas where no, you shouldn't resume normal activities, or you have green areas you should resume normal activities. So it's okay. So again, really excited about that. Leading into another product that we are launching this week, flash alerts. So lightning prediction, no hardware needed. So it occurred to us, that, and really Dylan helped out a lot with this, and then Will's implemented it. So really been a team effort on this, but we can take the inner workings of the deep learning and the AI, and without showing anybody a map, we can just send notifications, because that's really all that some people care about. So if you think about a golf course, or if you think about a construction site, youth sports leagues, recreation, even movie sets here in Atlanta, think about any of those. All they care about is getting a notification that says lightning is forecast to occur within 8 miles in the next 50 to 60 minutes. Lightning is forecast to occur in the next 15 to 20 minutes. And then once lightning has occurred, hey, threat of lightning has diminished, monitor conditions for at least 5 minutes, and then resume normal activity. So this is kind of our non-enterprise solution that we're going to be testing out for some areas. Again, it's not really going to be an app, because we want to save this for the enterprise, and that's where really the big dollars are. But we are going to have this kind of notification service that is going to be good for funds that are going to feed some of the larger things that we're going to be doing. So really excited about this part of it. This is kind of an example of that Wichita, Kansas one that I was talking about earlier. Country Club is centered within 8 and 20 mile rings around it. So I'll take you quickly through this so we can get to some of the questions. But this was just kind of a test, sent notification that lightning was going to be expected at a golf course at a certain time. Approximately 10 minutes later, the actual first strikes start to occur, indicated by the royal blue dots. So we get another indication, lightning expected within 8 miles of the golf course in the next 10 minutes. And then lightning actually occurs at the course, which is what was expected. And then finally, we get a final notification that lightning has diminished at the golf course. It's saying flash has designated the area all clear. So we're using both products, flash first strike, telling you when the first strike is going to occur. We're also using flash all clear and then combining those to use this notification service. So we're going to be launching this at golf courses, hunting clubs, you name it, nationwide here coming up this week. So really excited about this product and the revenue potential that it has. But as mentioned, we're not going to stop with lightning. Lightning is going to be a tremendous success for us at Splash as a company and for the investors. But really think that with this infrastructure we have in place, we have this tremendous opportunity to go beyond lightning and go into wind, hail, temperatures, winter storms, precipitation, and tornadoes. And so let Dylan take over right here. If you could, Dylan, I'll stop sharing, and he's going to talk about some of the future with you guys.
Absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Hopefully you guys can see it.
Yep, we got it.
Perfect. Well, yeah, thank you, Jason and Will, for the lead up. Great updates. My name's Dylan Steinkerger, as Jason mentioned. I'm a lead AI engineer here at Flash, and I'm just going to give a little bit of an update on some of the AI products that we're continuing to develop, and then as well as Jason mentioned, some of the things that we have coming down the pipeline. And so everything today is just going to be a very small taste of what's actually going on. Our main focus continues to be on really developing the Lightning products here in the near term, but we're really excited about some of these other products. But I will start out with sort of our next step in Lightning prediction, and that's continuing to push the bounds of lead time prediction. So increasing the amount of warning time that we can give to our potential end users and customers. And so this is hot off the press. This was one of the advancements we've just made in the last couple of days. This was actually from an event that ran 2 nights ago. And what's being shown here is we're actually going to take Lightning prediction from the 0 to 60 minute time frame that Jason has mentioned all the way out to 2 hours. And we think this is going to be really powerful, particularly for our notification system going forward. And so this was from the other night. What's being shown here is the forecasts that were issued at 3:50 UTC, if I can get my mouse here. And so 3:50 UTC, this is down in Oklahoma, Kansas, Texas area, is about 10:50 p.m. local time. And then this F+10 is saying what the forecast time is for this particular image. So this is the forecast that was issued at 10:50 p.m. For 10 minutes in advance. And as I move through this animation, you'll see that will take up to F+20, which is just the 20-minute forecast, and so on and so forth. The blue contours here, as Jason had mentioned with the website that he had shown previously, indicate areas where we believe lightning to be possible based on the deep learning model predictions. The yellow is lightning likely, and the red is lightning warning. So we want to see as many of these strikes, and these individual strikes that are occurring are these magenta colored dots, lining up with the areas that are lightning likely and lightning warning. And so I'll just play this out to 60 minutes originally. And so if I pause it right here, you'll see this is where our current AI system is at, issuing warnings and lightning likely forecasts out to 60 minutes. But what we're going to be doing in the next couple of weeks is taking this and going all the way out to 2 hours. And so I'll pause it again right here. And so you can see this is at 90 minutes, an hour and a half in advance of when this forecast was originally issued. And you can see the AI system does a very good job of identifying this area of enhanced lightning, putting most of it in a lightning likely, and then also this lightning warning that verifies very well with where that lightning is occurring. And then if we go all the way out to 2 hours, you can continue to see it does a very good job of identifying this area of enhanced lightning all the way out in advance. And so very excited about rolling this out in the next couple of weeks and expanding that lead time beyond the current capabilities that we already have, which are already very good. In addition to that, we are constantly working to improve our deep learning models. And as Will mentioned, the key for us is data. Data is the most valuable thing that we have with respect to the feeds that we're bringing in. And so over the next couple of months, we're also looking to expand our lightning prediction data sets from 6 months of training data out to 2 years. This is going to be really important to continuing to improve our deep learning models. But it's also going to give us the capability to continue to extend that lead time. Initially, we want to push from 2 hours out to 4 hours. But as we go into the rest of the year, we really want to continue to expand that out into longer lead times, particularly looking at forecasting, providing lightning forecasts out to a day, or even multi-day forecasts for end users. And so that's all I want to talk about with respect to lightning. I also want to tease some of these other products that Jason has mentioned, and I'm not going to go into any of the details with them. I just want to give a very brief overview. The first one here is precipitation intensity. And essentially what we're trying to predict here is areas of enhanced precipitation. And so these black contours that you can see, those are areas where enhanced precipitation is going to occur in 30 minutes. And this is a case down in Florida about 10 months ago. And the deep learning model is actually producing probabilistic guidance on where that enhanced precipitation is going to be. And you can see that in the background. And the area that we're going to focus on is this star right here. And this star actually, as it turns out, is Daytona International Speedway. We're actually testing our Lightning product at the time. And some of the customers that were using it down there were interested in also having a precipitation product to go along with the Lightning product. And so right now, this has just been an experimental product that we've been playing with just to see if we could even produce something that provides reasonable guidance. But we've had very exciting results here in the last month or so of actually putting this together. And you can see here, the area of enhanced probability corresponds very well with that black contour, or the area where the actual enhanced precipitation occurred. And so, like I said, our main focus continues to be on lightning prediction, but we really think adding some of these products in with the with the notification system, these precipitation, could be very powerful as well going forward. I'll also tease this visibility product, and I'd actually encourage you, if you want to see some of the actual examples of this, Jason posted some great updates on our Start Engine page about visibility. We've been playing around with this. These areas of bright colors are areas of significantly lowered visibility. And you can see that down here as we get into the purples and magenta colors, we're getting visibility less than a mile. So very powerful tool, we think, as we continue to expand this as well. When we start talking about transportation, aviation, even autonomous vehicles are going to need to have this information, and continuing to play on this is going to be really important. But again, if you want to see an example of this in action, check out the Start Engine page. Jason posted some updates there about some events that happened up in the Dakotas, and then another one that happened out in Pennsylvania in association with some blizzards. And then the last one I just want to post on here really quickly, and I won't go into too much detail about this, is also as we continue to look at expanding our severe weather suite going forward. And so one hazard that has always been near and dear to my heart, because it's the field that I came out of grad school from, is severe weather, and in particular tornadoes. And so this has just been something that we've been playing around with on the side. But what I'm showing here are a couple of probability contours. And so the probability contours for this particular supercell are down here. The blue contour is the 70% contour, and the red contour is the 80% contour. And you can see as it tracks across this storm, this supercell that moves across here, this supercell is actually going to end up producing a tornado. This other polygon that I've drawn on here is actually the National Weather Service polygon that was issued for this storm on this particular day. And the key piece of this, when we're first looking at this product, is to just see if there is sort of a general alignment between what a human would have been issuing on this particular day and what the AI system is actually making decisions about, what kind of probabilistic guidance it is putting out there. And so, again, this is a very preliminary product, but the preliminary results have been very encouraging to see in this particular case, the AI system issuing enhanced probabilities in areas where human forecasters were actually issuing warnings. So this is a product that's certainly down the pipeline a ways, but we're very excited about continuing to build this going forward. And so, again, just a very light taste of some of the products in addition to our Lightning suite that we might have coming down the pipeline. The big thing that we continue to grow is our data sets. And really that's what we're excited about more than anything as we do some of these side projects, if you want to call them that, of really getting these data sets out that are setting us up to predict other meteorological hazards down the road. And not only that, when we're talking about data sets of predicting other hazards, but also expanding the temporal and spatial ranges of our products, being able to predict it at longer lead times, and also being able to predict in areas outside of the continental United States, particularly when we start looking at products that rely heavily on satellites, where we can look at areas such as North America, or even getting forecasts down into South America, where some of those products may not exist. And so I will wrap up here and pass it back to Jason, but just excited to show some of these other products that we have coming down the pipeline.
All right, thank you so much, Dylan. Really appreciate it. I think you guys can see why we stole him from Penn State now. So it was a very good get for Flash. But appreciate all that information, and that's why we're excited. I mean, we're excited about the Lightning products, but we're equally excited about the future and some of these other parameters and continuing to save lives and make money. So I really appreciate that. I only have a few more here to share, and then we'll get started with the question and answer session. So let me see if I can do this one here. Okay. Traction. So kind of shift gears a little bit and talk about what are we doing with all these products, you know. So yeah, we're developing a lot of great things, but it's really just been in the last month really that we feel like we've got a complete enough product suite that's stable enough with the architecture that we're able to go out and really go 100% after these customers. And so, we started that a few months ago with the grant process. We were selected for AFWorks, which is Air Force grant, direct to phase 2. So we skipped phase 1. So we were ecstatic to be selected for that. We had, I think, 2 MOUs, which is memorandum of understandings, meaning that we had 2 interested parties, and then we had another party that signed on as a support entity. So we were told that these were hard to get, and we actually ended up getting 3 of them quite easily. So we're awaiting funding. So they ran out of funding, was the bad part. So they selected us and they said, oh, we ran out of funding, but they can fund themselves. And so 45th Weather Squadron, they're responsible for all the launches out of the Cape and nationwide. They're so excited about what we're doing. They're just looking at bringing in the money on their own. So they're teamed with the 52nd Fighter Wing, who is the original one on the AFWorks phase 2. They're still interested, and so we're trying to get them to work together and bring the funds together for that. The original grant proposal was for $1.2 million. Since the funding ran out on that prior to that, it's going to be up to those 2, the Weather Squadron and the Fighter Wing, to come up with money together, but probably be a little bit scaled back from that and looking more at the 500 to 750,000 range. But again, that would help us, get our products where we want to go a lot quicker, and not just have Will and Dylan and a contract team working on this, but actually have a dedicated full staff software team. So we're awaiting responses on 3 NOAA grants, which we're really excited about. Those are worth $150,000 each. Again, I worked for NOAA for 21 years. I know the people reviewing the grants, and so feel really good about the process of that and getting in some of this grant money, which is great because you get the support from people like the 45th Weather Squadron. You get to put them as potential customers down the line, and you're getting funds without diluting anyone who's on this call. So grants are the way to go. Beta tests, you saw those stars. We're kind of beta testing over 30 sites across the country with the notification services, starting paid beta tests, but we're going to quickly transition to what I would just call a true customer model. We had just a test environment and a product environment. Now we're actually going to have both of those running simultaneously, which enables us to have just a true customer model and kind of drop that beta wording. We have beta tested the last 2 NASCAR events, and we'll continue through the summer. And then we have a beta test beginning for the summer with a very large enterprise customer that I'm not at liberty to say who they are, but I can just say that it would be a game changer for everyone on this call for them to beta test this through the summer. So we have an agreement with them to start that here in a couple of weeks, hopefully. And so we'll let everybody know when that actually occurs. As far as customers go, customer acquisition beginning this week with the notification product or the flash alerts. That'll include the golf, parks, cities, neighborhoods, youth sports, etc. And then the enterprise push, I thought, was going to begin in late June as the software architecture stabilized, but now that we're getting it stabilized faster. And then there's always one of my previous supervisors called, something coming out of right field. And that kind of happened for us these last couple of days. And we've had a enterprise aviation company that's approached us, which I can't really talk about, but that's looking very favorable to the point that, I'll be attending an aviation conference here in Geneva, Switzerland this weekend to hopefully get something signed with that. So some really exciting things happening for us, continuing with Spirit, NetJets, TrimGolf, all of these entities that you see here. Just really excited about the things that are going on with that. So I think, the notification is going to bring the money in, and we're excited about that. But then these enterprise opportunities are going to be coming fast and furious, I believe. If we could take just a moment, Jamie, do you mind just popping in here for a second? And I'd like to, he's our COO and kind of responsible for, let me stop sharing my screen here, kind of responsible for the customer acquisition part and helping formulate our plan there. Can you just talk about what you're seeing as far as the excitement level goes, and what people are saying when you bring this out to potential customers.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to say thanks to all the investors out there. This is a crazy exciting time. Just to tell you real quick about my background, I've been a career meteorologist and have been doing this for about 33 years. And we'll say lightning prediction was more of a dream than a reality. And now it is a reality. And as discussed by our team with Will, Dylan, and Jason, we are bringing other products to light too, to change the face of weather. I feel that we are going to change the world with the products that we have. And getting back to what Jason had mentioned, the excitement that we see in people when you share the product is just incredible. And we did have a great live test this morning, as Jason indicated, that went off extremely well with Columbus Country Club. And that involved folks on the golf course that were advised to come back in, seek shelter. And then instead of waiting that 30 minutes, like in most cases, everyone will use that rule, they were able to get folks back out on the course without impacting them with the 30-minute, we'll say, so-called rule. So it's just been fantastic. I mean, total excitement. I get chills when I talk to folks about it because they see the value in it, not only from the safety aspect, but if you look at the operational value, this extends to anything and everything that involves outdoor activities with people. And we are definitely going to impact the world with this product. Can't wait to get it out to the world. And that's happening quickly and fast. And I just appreciate everybody on the team for making this happen as quick as what it has happened. It's exciting times. So all I can say is stay tuned for more to come. Thank you.
Appreciate that, Jamie. Yeah, and we all share his sentiment and excitement. So we're going to get to the questions here in just a second. I think the only other thing that we want to remind you of, per SEC rules, I really can't say too much, about what we're going to do. But, I think I can say that this is, we're feeling in a position now where we're turning on the revenue faucet. And so, if you want to get in further, I would encourage you. There's 26 days left. And, we can't ever say in absolutes, but as far as the way the trajectory is going with this, this would likely be your last opportunity to get in on something like this if you want to get in further. So with that, I think it'd be a good time to answer some of these questions here. So let me see what we have as far as that goes. I think there were several questions about kind of related to how can this benefit regular people? Why not develop an app directly for consumers? So we've had several examples from the weather enterprise, AccuWeather, Weather, IBM, which is the weather group, of instances, and even WeatherTap, instances where they admitted that they came out with an app too soon. And so when you come out with an app too soon, yeah, you do well and you make money on that app. But then when you're sitting in an enterprise, trying to sell it to an enterprise environment, then you have this boardroom and you're trying to sell it to this guy, and he looks and he says, why would I give you this enterprise money? I've got it right here on my app. Why can't I just have all my employees use the same app? And so that's the thinking for us, is we are going to come out with an app, but it's just going to be down the line. You got to start with the enterprise customers first, or even the small and medium businesses. Get those, and then once you are able to fund with those funds, then you come out with the app that goes out and for the rest of the world, and also gives us an opportunity to refine it, because we are there to save lives and we want to get this out to the world. So we want to refine our product and make sure it's the best it can be.
Yeah, and I think that sorry, I hope I can just chime in here for a brief moment. In terms of developing a user-facing app, right? That's something that has been, really kind of near and dear to my heart in terms of a product roadmap and a vision, to have something in the hands of everybody that says, oh, you're going to get struck by lightning. Please don't do that. However, there's also that presents a lot of challenges with a small development team. It's primarily Dylan and I, and as Jason has mentioned, we get some help on certain back-end aspects from the team at 6 Feet Up, who are incredible, but limited resources really put a damper on how much you can do. And so we do have really grand prospects and a bright future for a fully vertically integrated app where we control everything from the data to the user interface and the display, right? This thing you see moving behind me. But in the short term, right, having a data as a service business model was more readily accessible than a full-blown software as a service business model. And, the beautiful thing about just like software, in some ways, businesses are liquid, right? And we are able to adjust and pivot our business model, which is what we've been doing over the past couple months as things evolve, right? So really, we're just trying to not burden ourselves from a technical perspective and not burden ourselves with technical debt that will inhibit future development down the road. Because that's another, from an engineering perspective, that's another challenge to future product development. And, future utility, right, is having a code base that's so heavy that you either can't hire engineers to work on it or can't build anything rapidly enough. So we're really being focused and intentional with how we build the foundations for our software, because we understand that those are the foundations for our business. So those are my 2 cents in that regard of the user-facing development.
Thank you, Will. Appreciate that. That really does help. One question was, who would benefit from this? Like what major businesses? Really, the problem we've had is who wouldn't. So you always have to come up the market scope. So when we start out, it's like everything outdoors. So now we got to narrow that. And so we've tried to narrow it into the ones that will be the most lucrative, we feel, at least at the early stages, which are aviation, public safety, utilities. But we are continually surprised when we talk to the individual large sectors about what's possible and what would help them. And so, for instance, with utilities, they're starting to route electricity smartly, so that they found out that a dead line that is struck by lightning has less damage than a live line. And so when lightning approaches an area, they're going to reroute the electricity. If they can do that in a smart way and know when the lightning's coming, then that's going to help their overall costs. So things like that are continually coming to us that are defining our market sector for us. So just a tremendous number of verticals that we have applicability to, especially as we expand the product suite from lightning into other things. One is on liability, which we get a lot, which is what if we're wrong? What kind of liability do we have? We just think of this as a tool, and so, there's 2 ways you can think of it. Other tools that have been out there, either a seatbelt, or you can think of a smoke detector. And I think smoke detector actually resonates the most. It's in your house, it alerts you when things are coming, but, unfortunately your house can still burn down. And so, with us, it's still Mother Nature, and things can still go wrong, and people can still be struck by lightning. But this is another tool in the tool belt. And so when we get to the legalese and the lawyers on this and writing the liability, that's typically what they're going to be going with. This is just another tool to help people make their decision. We're not making your decision for you. Let's see. Go with these. App. Is the budget in good standing? Keep moving forward. As I think Will might have mentioned, we spend a tremendous amount of money on data and Amazon, and so between those and of course salaries, those things add up. But we are in good standing, especially with this revenue faucet turning on. So we find it's going to be quite easy to sell this as we did to some other country clubs that Jamie's already introduced us to. The excitement that's out there, and when we start getting into the sports venues and things like that, not to mention the enterprise opportunities that are coming down the line, we feel quite positive about all this. So can you provide group webinars for interested investors or customers? Yeah, we can do additional webinars for the investors so they can stay in the loop. We have the email of everybody, customers, and we can have them too. So yeah, it's those are all possibilities down the road. The bottom line for all of this is we want to keep everyone in the loop in what we're doing. I mean, you guys have been a tremendous part of this. We consider you part of Team Flash, and I'm not just saying that, I really mean it. And so, you know, you got us to where we are today. So we want to be transparent about everything we do, and we're going to keep you guys informed of all of that. So let me just make sure I didn't miss any questions. Someone's asking about HARP having an impact on the prediction product. I'm assuming maybe you're talking about the Alaska, which no, I mean, let's put it this way. If there's data we can use, we're going to use it. And so if we find out that's valuable data, you betcha Dylan will be the first one to plop that into the AI engine. So let's see. Someone's asking about start engine raise and momentum and valuation scaring people away. To be quite honest, it could be, you know, that could be part of it, the evaluation, but we feel very strongly about it. And, you know, we went to great lengths to show what we were capable of, and we still feel very strongly about that valuation. But as you guys know, there's other factors such as the economy, people holding on to their money a little bit longer. There were some changes in terms of the way people Facebook and Apple, and so that changed the way that we were able to advertise for some of these. So across the board, in most cases, you'll see people struggling a little bit more to raise money on Start Engine, both because of those rule changes and also because of the economy as a whole. But the Start Engine was never something that we were going to rely on for this. It was just money was going to help us with our contracting work and getting 6 feet up to help us a little bit more, which they did. So now that we have the revenue, that's why I say we're perfectly content with letting this go and then see from there. Are you looking at any VC money? You know, we're always open to see if VC money can get us to, you know, where we want to get to faster, but we're not going to do it at the expense of diluting the company and, you know, taking away your guys' piece of the pie. I'm just not going to do that. We're too close to greatness here, I believe, in bringing in significant revenue from enterprise and all the way down. That you know, it would have to be a very nice deal for our terms for us to do anything VC. So I would say more than money VC wise, we're looking for strategic partners that could advance us a little bit faster in where we want to go. So. I think that is all of the questions. We are going to make sure on this one. Yeah, we are going to. We have recorded this session, so I'll be sending that out. And you know of anybody who missed it, please let them know. But again, if you guys want to invest further, 26 days left. Otherwise, appreciate everybody's continued support, and we'll have some more big news coming next week. So. Stay tuned for that. Talk to you guys later.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.